Hello and welcome back to another Delta Analysis video. It has been like 2.5 months, but I'm back now. I've been busy with a lot of things, but now I should be semi-consistent for a few weeks at least. So now we have Delta Heatmor, which is a poison and steel type, which means you are 4 times weak to ground and 2 times weak to fire, and I think that's all your weaknesses because it's a very good typing. To be honest, it's a very good typing. If you could like kind of avoid ground type moves because they will kill you. Um, Looking at its stats, they're not the best. They're pretty bad. 85 HP, 66 defenses is not very bulky. 97 attack, 105 special attack is not very strong, and 65 speed is also just not fast at all. But looking at the abilities, there are a few things that can save you. It gets liquid ooze, meaning that if you get your health drained, then your opponent loses health instead of gaining health, which could be situationally good. It gets sheer force. I'll get back to that later. And it gets mega launcher, which boosts certain moves by like 1.3, like aura sphere, water pulse. What else? Dark pulse, dragon pulse. Point is, you don't care about Mega Launcher, you get like 2 moves that even get affected by it. Sheer Force is really good. It gives a 1.3 times boost to every attack that has a secondary effect and removes said secondary effect. I think it's 1.3. Mega Launcher is 1.5, but it still like applies to 2 moves. You have stronger options with Sheer Force. Um, so basically, you just run sheer force, and it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Um, some utility moves, it doesn't have much utility. It gets Dragon Tail the face out. It gets stunned to stop things from doing things. I guess Dragon Tail you probably wouldn't want to run on many sets. Taunt could be good if you don't need a 4th move. But you probably would want a 4th move, knowing this thing's move pool. And I'll just get right into it. This thing gets coverage. This thing gets a lot of coverage. Uh, Sheer Force, Life Orb, Shift Gear. Like, this is the special set. Like, you don't can run Scarf. You can run. I wouldn't run Specs, but you can run Specs. I guess you're not that fast. Scarf, like, you kind of need Shift Gear for the speed. You could run just bulky 4 attacks, Life Orb, like wall breaking. This thing is gonna be strong with Life Orb, Sheer Force, Stabs, Flash Cannon, Sludge Wave. It does get Nasty Pot as well to just double its special attack stat. Fire Blast, or like plus 2 boost, but after 1 you doubled it. Fire Blast, Flamethrower to deal with Steel Touch, resist your stab. Energy Ball to deal with the ground types that, scare you a lot. Ice Beam, same idea. Scald, same idea. Focus Blast also for the steel types. Aura Sphere is there if you don't want to miss, but Focus Blast is significantly stronger. And also gets the sheer force boost as where Aura Sphere does not. Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, good moves in general. Energy Ball, Thunderbolt helps with water types. What else are you scared of? Like offensively. Electric types, you don't deal with electric types that well, but that's alright. Sludge Wave should hurt them very much so. And keep in mind, every single one of these moves, except for Aura Sphere, do have a secondary effect, and therefore do get boosted by sheer force. But keep in mind, their secondary effect does not. It gets removed due to that. So Scald can't burn, Ice Beam can't freeze. You can't get special defense drops with Energy Ball, with Shadow Ball, with I think that's it for the Flash Cannon. Like, you have to keep in mind you can't go for the hacks with sheer force, but you basically just gotta go for as much damage as possible. Um, and maybe your opponent doesn't realize your sheer force and therefore your Scald can burn, which means that you could like bait them or something. I don't know. Basically it's a decent move to run. It's probably inferior to Ice, but it could be good in very specific situations. Um, like um, like fire types. Fire types are kind of scary. Like Mega Camera could be good to bring Scald against. I would recommend bringing Scald against that. To be fair, um, But yeah, this thing is just a wall breaker. It's like Nidoking, except that it actually has a good special attack stat. Like it has a special attack stat that's 20 points higher than Nidoking. And Nidoking is already a terrifying wall breaker. It has similar bulk, I'd say. Like it's basically a Nidoking, except that it gets destroyed by one specific typing. Um, yeah, this is very comparable to Nidoking. It's so many moves. And the shift gear actually makes this arguably better than Nidoking, because Nidoking can boost its own speed. Therefore, Scarf Nidoking is a good set. This thing can boost its own speed and its own special attack, and has a ton of coverage. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very good Pokemon. This thing is a very good Pokemon, very fun Pokemon too. Um, the second set is a little less exciting. The physical set, because its physical attack is stronger. It gets Gunk Shot, which is a very powerful move. And Shift Gear boosts your own attack as well. They have a +1 attack, +2 speed, a Sheer Force Life Orb Gunk Shot coming off of you. It's gonna do a lot of damage. The main problem becomes that you cannot touch Steel types except for like Aqua Tail or Crunch, both of which are boosted by Sheer Force. Body Slam is as well. It's more of a neutral hit if you want a neutral hit. Um, but yeah, it has a higher potential, but its versatility is significantly reduced. You can't hit steel types well, you can't hit water types well, except for Gunk Shot helps with a lot of those. Aqua Tail at least helps with ground types, helps with fire types. Poison types are going to be annoying too, but Iron Head can, well, I was going to say can flinch, but it can't flinch because of the sheer force. But regardless, this thing it's going to hit really hard. This thing is going to hit really hard. It's really the only downside is its middling speed before the boost, and it's pretty bad defenses at 66 each. I'm just going to check really quickly how fast this thing actually is at +2 speed. Heatmor at +2 speed, +2 adamant or +2 modest hits. It's faster than this. It's faster than this. It's faster. Oh Christ! Oh God! This thing is actually really fast. You almost outspeed. You basically outspeed everything. You outspeed base 150 with modest max speed at +2. The Scarfers you outspeed is like 80, 85, 80 Scarfers you outspeed. Yeah, 80 Scarfers you outspeed. 85 Scarfers you outspeed. 90 Scarfers you don't. 90 Scarfers are like 1 point faster than you at +2. So yeah. Basically, yeah, this thing is gonna do real well. It's gonna do real well, I think. Like if you're gonna draft it, if you need a special breaker, I recommend this. It's like if you wanted like Nidoking or Nidoqueen, but those got sniped. This thing is there. It's not that. It's actually quite good. So yeah, I will. I'm just gonna say this thing is pretty good, and I like it a lot. It doesn't get toxic spikes, unfortunately. This obviously gets toxic. Like this gets corrode. It does get corrode. Ah, that's interesting. Although it doesn't get boosted by sheer force, so like it's probably suboptimal to bring compared to like Fire Blast, which is a significantly stronger move boosted by sheer force. And then just bringing Sludge Wave, which is also a significantly stronger move boosted by Sheer Force. But Corrode could help manage like the move slots a little bit better, because it does hit everything. So, I think that's basically everything I have to say about the Delta Heatmor. Good mon. I would recommend trying it out. Next up is Delta Hydreigon. That's a monster. That thing is also really good. We've entered some really good poison types. After that, it's like good poison type 2. Then it's fat ass, fat ass, fat ass, fat ass. Okay, just fat ass. After it's gonna be mono poison, broken, and just fat asses. So yeah, see y'all next time. Goodbye.